What is going on, guys? It's Buttcluck Gaming back at it again with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded one, but shout out to DarkMagicianTactics. I will have a link to his YouTube channel down below in the description. He's pretty much the one that's pretty much got me getting back to uploading more frequently than I've been doing. So I do apologize about not uploading well enough. I've just been having work, and for those who do work, you already know how it is. Now, I do want to mention DarkMagicianTactics is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player that's trying to make the Dark Magicians meta. Mad respect for people who try to do that. I mean, I also do the exact same thing. So, like I said, go and see his journey on how he's doing things, which I will eventually do my Dark Magician deck profile in the future. I know for those who know me that play Yu-Gi-Oh! I do not like giving out my deck profile, especially when it comes to my Dark Magicians. It's just the thing that I have. But pretty much, I will have that in the future. I'll have more of these deck profiles out for you. So what I bring to you today is a Traptrix deck. Now I do have some history with this deck. I know for a fact I've been going undefeated with it since the last time I played it. The times are changed now, so I'm not sure how well it fares against people now. Probably would still be good. But other than that, yeah, go and check out DarkMagicianTactics. Great guy. Excellent videos. He does a lot of posting, especially with him going to his locals. But highly suggest checking him out. But I'm not going to waste any more time. Without further ado, let's get on to this Traptrix deck profile. Alright, we are going to start off with the monsters. First off, we run 3 Traptrix Mermelios. Now this is obviously the main searcher of the entire deck. That gets you your dark, sorry, not your darks, but your normal hold monsters directly from the deck. Like your Grave Diggers and your Floodgate Trap Holes and your Nightmare Trap Holes. Pretty much any whole normal card. But yeah, it also has a second ability where it's special summon. It can pop a spell or trap on the field, and it's a mandatory effect as well. So its effect will always activate even though it's negated. I forgot the exact name for the type of activation. I'm pretty sure it's a mandatory effect. Now that isn't once per turn either with the popping effect. And now, so for the second searcher is Traptrix Mantis. Now Mantis is the exact opposite of Mermelio. This one adds the Traptrix monsters from the deck to the hand. Very good. You can also send a set spell or trap on the field and add it directly back to your hand. And it is a quick effect. It's very good, especially if, let's say, your opponent has Harpy's Feather Duster and you just have this on the field. You can chain it, or you can just add it back to the hand so it wouldn't be destroyed. But you can also set another spell or trap from your hand face down onto the field as well. But yeah, great card. Literally just Mermelio and Mantis are your 2 main searchers for this entire deck. Now, the next one is Traptrix Putica. Now, this one has an amazing effect where it can banish when special summon. And honestly, that's the best thing that it's good for. So, run 3, you can disrupt your opponents. It's pretty strong, and it can also add 1 Trap Trip Garden from the deck to the hand, and I'll go on to that effect when I get to the spells. But yeah, run 3 Putica. And then, obviously, can't go without this deck without running at least 2 Dianea. I see a lot of people run this at 1 or 3, but also at 2, but I find that 2, running it at 2 is the best ratio. Pretty much it revives your Traptrix monsters from the graveyard, and it can also reset your used trap hole cards. But yeah, very strong. At least run 2. And then the next one, I can never pronounce this name correctly, but it is Traptrix Arachnocampa. I believe that's how it's pronounced, but correct me if I'm wrong. And I'm sorry if you keep hearing the mic hitting something and accidentally tapping my tripod here. Now, this card has a protection effect where it can, once per turn, stop the destruction of your set, spells, and traps. So it's a quick effect that can special summon straight from the hand if you have a Traptrix monster. So if you special summon this, if you're, like I said, if there's a Harpy's Feather Duster or if there's something that blows up the field, just special summon this from the hand, and it stops the back row destruction practically. But yeah, it's an easy level 4 combo starter as well for your rank 4s. Now for the other engine that I run in this, in a mandatory run, is 3 Parallel Exceed. This card is cracked. If you have at least one Traptrix monster, and if you have one of these in your hand, you can link off into Traptrix Sarah, special summon this to the link zone that it points to, well, the arrow that it points to, and special summon another Parallel Exceed from the deck to the field, and they become level 4 monsters. So pretty much, it's a combo starter, practically. So you kind of want to see this in your hand just to get stuff going. And then for the only hand traps that I run practically is 3 Dimension Shifters in the main deck, not in the side, but in the main deck, and then 1 Nibiru, the Primal Being. Now, Nibiru at 1 and having 3 shifters, I think this is the perfect ratio for this deck. A lot of people are probably going to give me a lot of criticism for this, but having Nib at 1 is perfectly fine, and having 3 shifters does not honestly hurt this deck at all. I hear a lot of people going back and forth in between 2, but having Dimension Shifter in the main is so good. And then obviously having at least 1 Nibiru is fine. You ain't gonna die unless you use it wrong, but it can also be used as like tribute fodder, I guess. And then that's all for the monsters. Now on to the spells. I run the 1 Traptrix Garden and then 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Now, a lot of people run 2, at least 2, but I've honestly found this card cloggy to run it at 2, which a lot of people might have different experiences with it, but having Traptrix Garden is at 1 is absolutely perfect. And then obviously Harpy's Feather Duster, if you aren't running this in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, man, you're missing out. That's one of the best cards that they've unbanned. Now Traptrix Garden practically gets you a second normal summon, and it can also banish 1 card you control to special summon a Traptrix monster from the hand or graveyard. So it's practically like 2 extra summons, practically. It's cracked. And honestly, just running out 1, if you just resolve this effect at least once, you're golden. But it also like Arachnocampa, if your Traptrix monsters are destroyed, they are not destroyed the first time. So pretty much it's like a once per turn phase thing, like Arachnocampa. So this one protects the monsters. Arachnocampa protects the spells and traps. Now that's all for the spells. onto the traps, we run 3 Traptrix Hollow Tees. Now this card, I am so happy that they printed this card. This is like a Brigandine on crack and steroids. Practically you can send a spell, not a spell, but a trap card from your hand and send it to the graveyard to activate it the same turn that it was set, but also has a graveyard ability where you can activate on your opponent's turn as well to target 1 Traptrix monster in the graveyard and special summon it, which is so good. It's a monster reborn, but it's also a free body on the field. It's also a level 4, so you can start your combos off like Brigandine. And speaking of Brigandine, obviously you have to run at least 3 Brigandine. If you're not running this, it's a no-brainer. It's just a level 4 combo starter. And then on to the actually, you know what? I'm going to screw it. We're gonna go on to the hole cards. Pretty much, you run at least 2 Grave Diggers trap holes, and then 2 Floodgate trap holes. Now these, I think this is the perfect ratio, running 2 of each. People end up sometimes running 3 Grave Diggers and 1 Floodgate, or at least like 2 Grave Diggers and 1 Floodgate, which I don't know why. I just think having at least 2, something to search off of, and just use like Rafflesia's effect. If like you don't have these set, you can just use it from deck, which if you guys don't know what Rafflesia does, is like if your opponent activates an effect, you can pretty much send a normal whole card that meets the requirements, like I'm gonna say the biggest one, Grave Diggers. If they activate Ash Blossom and you have Rafflesia on the field, you can just send this from the deck to the grave and then use its effect. So practically Rafflesia becomes the trap card. It's absolutely broken. This one just sets the monsters permanently. This one just negates and inflicts 2,000 damage to your opponent's life points. Very good. It can just burn your opponent over and over again, and it's cracked. And now I also run the 3 Torrential Tributes. For those who don't know what Traptrix are most known for, is that they do not get affected by normal trap cards, and I believe the extra deck monsters are unaffected just by trap effects. So having anything that can possibly damage your field, especially if it's a trap, it'll just hurt your opponent and just not you. So run 3 Torrentials. And now this is going to be the weirdest thing that a lot of people are probably going to raise their eyebrows for, is 2 Infinite Impermanence. This is perfectly okay at 2. I just needed to fit more stuff in to the deck, and having 2 is just perfectly okay. I do have a third one. I just think having 2 Imperms is just perfectly fine. And then onto the last of the traps is 1 Nightmare trap hole, and then 1 Trap Trick, and the final one is Starlight Road. This card is absolute gas. Now, Starlight Road, a lot of people wonder why I run this thing. I mean, there's times where the board just gets wiped, and a lot of people can't recover from that. But if you run Starlight Road, it just stops your opponent's like plan to just nuke you. But if you activate this, you negate that, and then you summon a Stardust Dragon just to get the exact same effect. And it's a reoccursion effect for Stardust if they try to do the exact same thing. So it's just a negate and an extra body with a negate. Highly suggest at least running 1 Starlight Road. I was running 2 at one point, but it did become too cloggy because not a lot of people really nuked the field, but now that we're in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh, the fields do get nuked quite a bit. So I do just run at least one. It's just better at one. Now onto the extra deck. It is 2 Traptrix Sarahs. Now a lot of people run this at 3. I mean, just having 2 is perfect, because once you start resolving this effect, your board should be set for you to win. For those who don't know, is if a normal trap card is activated, you can special summon a Traptrix monster directly from your deck to the field, and if a Traptrix monster's effect activates, you can set a trap hole card directly from the deck to the field. Yeah, so one, like a hole card from the deck to the field. So practically, if the monster effects activate, you set, and then if the traps activate, you can just special summon a monster. And like I said, honestly, if you get this resolved at least once, you should honestly be all set. And then I just run the one Caleria. Caleria at 1, I think, honestly, in my personal opinion, is perfect. I see a lot of people run 2, which is weird, but I get why. She can just revive Traptrix monsters from the graveyard, and also she can just reset your whole cards if they activate, and it's only used once per turn. So like, let's say if you activate Floodgate, you can activate her effect to reset it so that it wouldn't be sent to the graveyard. Now this is a name I absolutely cannot pronounce, because I think I mispronounce it every single time. It is oh, what happened here? All right, there it is. Traptrix Adipus. I just call it the Traptrix Addy, because I cannot I feel like I'm butchering the name so hard. But this is just a giant body on the field that can just negate face-up cards equal to the number of traps in your graveyard. Yeah, normal trap cards in the graveyard, I believe. No. Sorry. It's up to the number of face-up insect and plant monsters that I control. I can negate face-up cards equal to that. But this card gains 1,000 attack while you have a normal trap in the graveyard. So it is a 1,800 beater, but if you have a trap in the grave, it becomes a 2,800. And then also, along with that negation effect, you can choose to banish one normal trap card from the graveyard and destroy one of the target negated targets. Which it's absolutely insane, but running it at 1 is absolutely perfect. And then to round off the Link monsters, just one Blackluster Soldier of Chaos is, in my personal opinion, a great choice. I mean, you can run whatever for that sort of Link, which honestly, you don't really need it. It's just there for a big body. And now on to the important ones is the Xyz monsters that Traptrix is most known for. Now, Traptrix Pinguicula. I can't pronounce this name either, but I call it the Traptrix Penguin. But this adds, just like Mantis, adds Traptrix monsters from the deck to the hand. But also, if by any chance that your opponent's cards is sent to the graveyard, or if it's banished, you can attach one of those cards to this card, but also whatever is equipped to this card, whatever attribute they are, this card cannot be affected by the attribute monster. So this is a earth monster, so let's say if there's a dark monster, it can't be affected by dark monsters. Same goes for light, water, fire, so on and so forth. So this card is absolutely insane. It's a 2500 beat stick, which Traptrix honestly need to have more big bodies on the field, since they're like small monsters. And now, shout out to one of my friends for making me put this back into the deck, because I honestly hated this card. I thought it was just a waste of space. But realizing that this card is very important is Traptrix Alamaris. This card, man, I feel like an idiot for not running this, at least anymore. But practically, you can revive a Traptrix monster, a insect or plant monster from the graveyard. But the same thing that goes for Traptrix Penguin. If your opponent's monster leaves the field because of a card effect that you've done to them, and it's now in the graveyard or banished, but during the damage step, except during the damage step, you can detach one material from this card and target one of those monsters and special summon it to your side of the field. So this card is absolutely great. At least run one. I felt like an idiot for not running it anymore, but at least run this at one. Absolutely insane card. And then, honestly, the most used and most summoned Traptrix card from the extra deck is Traptrix Rafflesia. This thing protects your Traptrix monsters, but it also can, like I said, become a trap card effect. And now this does have 2500 defense, but once you summon this to the field, you're honestly just set, and if it gets destroyed, you can just revive it with other stuff. So it just becomes a protection card at all times. As long as while it's on the field, all your Traptrix monsters are safe. And then to the other engines, practically, I run the Utopia engine. So I run Utopia, number 39 Utopia, and then Utopia Ray, and then Utopia the Lightning. Now, a lot of people would probably be asking, why am I running Ray? It's because once you go into your level 4s into Utopia, you can stack Ray, and then once you stack Ray, you can stack Lightning. I've always loved the effect of Lightning, where you could just detach 2 materials and it become a 5000 beat stick. But also when it attacks, your opponent can't activate nothing, and you can just do whatever you want practically. So you detach the 2 materials that you use to summon Utopia, like, ooh, biggie. So when they attack you again, you can just detach these 2, and then it becomes a 5000 beat stick yet again. And it's just, I don't know, it's cracked. I don't see a lot of people who run the Utopia engine just run Ray, but just these 2. But having Ray also added on is absolutely incredible. I do suggest people start doing that, but I do know that a lot of people just need as much space in their extra deck as possible. But also the last 2 of the rank cards is Time Thief Redoer. This card you'll go into a lot as well. And then a Zeus. Enough said about Zeus, but this is a disruptor for so many reasons. I mean, it just has 3 different effects for whatever is attached to it. Like monster, it can banish itself and then revive itself. If it has a spell, you can detach, draw a card. If it has a trap, you can bounce a card that your opponent controls. Enough said about that. And then to round off for the final extra deck card is obviously the one Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon is mandatory, especially since you run Starlight Road. This card is just great. It's amazing. And then for the meme, run this token here. It's a Nibiru token. This is the exact face that everybody needs to make when your opponent just summons out a big board, and then make them realize everything that they've done was absolutely useless. And that is the face that you must give them as you place the card on the field as you hold it up. So yeah, so pretty much that is the whole deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I've just been needing to get out to you guys a lot faster for these deck profiles, which I do apologize yet again for not uploading as much. But if there's a deck that you would like me to try to make, I am up for suggestions, but I'm going to try to get out all the decks that I have made out and just give you guys something to watch. But like I said, I give a huge shout out to DarkMagicianTactics. The guy's an absolute beast. Please go check him out, and I will have that link in the description. And if you are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to see a lot more stuff like this. But honestly, guys, I hope you all have a great night, and I'll catch you on the next video. See ya.